Reflection. Reflection by Reverend Father Clifford Atta Anim. March 18th, Tuesday, Memorial of St. Cyril of Jerusalem, Bishop and Doctor of the Church. Jesus confronts hypocrisy, lessons from the Pharisees and scribes. As Jesus entered Jerusalem during the first Holy Week, he faced increasing opposition from the religious leaders. On the third day, he engaged in sharp debates with the scribes and Pharisees, challenging their refusal to recognize him as the Messiah despite his miraculous works, as mentioned in Matthew chapter 23, verses 13 to 36. In response to their hypocrisy, Jesus publicly rebuked them, pronouncing a series of woes against them for prioritizing self-promotion over genuine service to God and others. Jesus identified three key failures of the religious leaders. 1. Hypocrisy in teaching and practice. Jesus condemned the scribes and Pharisees for not living according to the very laws they imposed on others. He declared, "They do not practice what they teach." Matthew chapter 23, verse 3, highlighting their lack of integrity. Like the priests in Malachi's time, who dishonored God with insincere sacrifices. Malachi chapter 1, verses 6 to 8. The Pharisees outwardly taught righteousness but failed to embody justice, mercy, and love. Micah chapter 6, verse 8. 2. Burdening others with legalism. Instead of guiding people to a loving relationship with God, they overwhelmed them with excessive laws. Jesus said, "They tie up heavy burdens, hard to bear, and lay them on the shoulders of others." Matthew chapter 23, verse 4. Similarly, in Acts chapter 15, verse 10, Peter criticized the Jewish leaders for imposing laws that even they could not keep, reminding believers that salvation comes through grace rather than rigid legalism. 3. Seeking human praise over God's glory. The Pharisees loved public recognition, desiring honor rather than humility. Jesus pointed out they do all their deeds to be seen by others. Matthew chapter 23, verse 5. Like King Saul, who disobeyed God because he feared losing the people's approval, 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 24. The religious leaders sought admiration rather than true righteousness. Jesus warned that their outward religiosity masked a lack of true devotion to God. Matthew chapter 6, verses 1 to 6. Life lessons for today. 1. Servant leadership in the church. Jesus calls his followers to lead with humility and service, not pride and self-interest. He demonstrated this when he washed the disciples' feet, teaching that true greatness lies in serving others. Church leaders and believers alike must ensure that their actions reflect God's love, feeding the hungry, sheltering the homeless, and caring for the sick. 2. Living out our faith authentically. Faith must be expressed through actions, not just words. James reminds us that faith without works is dead. Instead of judging or ignoring the marginalized, Christians should advocate for justice, uplift the poor, and extend compassion across racial and social divides. 3. Accepting responsibility with humility. Titles and positions of authority come with a duty to serve rather than dominate. Jesus taught, "Whoever wants to be great among you must be your servant." Whether in church, family, or society, we are called to use our influence to glorify God by uplifting others. Through Jesus' rebuke of the Pharisees, we are reminded that God values humility, mercy, and genuine faith over outward displays of religion. Let us strive to live lives that reflect Christ's love, seeking to glorify God rather than ourselves. God bless you.